Deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on. Thank you very much for that, Ian. Right, people. Deluded, I'm back again. Appreciative to you lot tuned in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night. Appreciative, as I said, people. Please do me a favor. Make the creative juices in your brain start flowing and comment any thoughts you have across anything we discuss. Please do me a favor and smash the like button, people. Let's boost the YouTube algorithm journey to 70k subs alive and kicking. Now, allegedly, Ruben Neves has come out and spoken on a failed move to Arsenal. Rio Ferdinand is talking nonsense. We've been linked with Mudryk. Let's see the latest headlines and everything in relation to Arsenal. So if you give me a second and allow me to share my screen with you guys, we can get it cracking, people. Ruben Neves saddened after Arsenal. Sorry, people. Again, Mikel Arteta, this is putting me off, people. Let's go again. This, I was reading two things, man. This pop-up was jarring. But Ruben Neves saddened after summer interest from Arsenal and Barcelona fell through before £47 million move to Al Hilal. As you know, Neves had hoped to secure Champions League football after leaving Wolves, people. Ruben Neves has revealed he was close to joining Arsenal in the summer before he made the move to Al Hilal. Not going to lie, Ruben Neves, a player that was continuously linked with Arsenal under Mikel Arteta, you would have given us another bow to our arrow, and I definitely think, you know, you would have done well in addressing the middle of the park. I think Declan Rice and Ruben Neves could have been a nice little partnership or trio if you include Odegaard. Obviously, Kai Havertz has played there to mix success. I do think Kai Havertz is more impactful actually playing up front, but I do think he should be playing as a left 8, but I think he's more impactful there. Obviously, you know, Jorginho isn't getting any younger, and according to the conditions of the game, if it's more of a chess match, more time, which has been the bigger games in the Premier League, that is Jorginho. Unfortunately, with Jorginho, anytime the games are kind of open and it's not a chess match, it's a typical Premier League end-to-end NBA-esque kind of game, like with Chelsea, his former club away from home, like with Spurs with him making the mistake, Jorginho kind of struggles in that regards. And obviously, while I like Jorginho, he's a bit of a manager, like one of Arteta's extended member of the coaching staff. He's obviously hell of experience. He doesn't tie into the long-term project of what Arsenal have, because he doesn't have that many years left in the tank being a professional footballer. And where you look at the middle of the park with El Nene, Jorginho, obviously Thomas Partey, Kai Havertz, is he going to be able to impact the game in the left 8 as much as up front, or is he a multifunctional player? Fabio Vieira and Smith Rowe haven't really convinced in any opportunities they've got as a left 8, not that there's been many. So there's a big hole in midfield in which Neves could have been that. Why did it fail though? Who knows, people? But apparently the midfielder's future was the subject of speculation for much of last season while he was still at Wolves, as he made clear his desire to sign for a club playing in the Champions League. Neves was strongly linked with a move to Barcelona, but went on to seal a £47 million transfer to Saudi Arabia, ending his 6-year spell in England. Reflecting on his move, Neves suggested that the Gunners were keen on signing him last summer and that he was left saddened after failing to secure a move to either Arsenal or Barcelona. So why did it not happen? Not a clue. I was close to 3 clubs and it didn't happen, which saddened me and helped me make the decision to go to El Hilal. Well, your pockets and bank balance have been all right, but it says 3 clubs. Barcelona, Arsenal, 2 have been dropped. You were linked with Man United. Your agent is Mendes, and he's got the contacts of every club in Europe or in the world. So what would have been the third? I don't know, but he said, I didn't want to put names forward, but Barcelona was one of the hottest, and it wasn't a lie. It was close to happening, just like with Arsenal. Then there was another club outside England. It was events that piled up. And then with this golden opportunity to sign for Al Hilal, I had no hesitation in accepting. I was already calloused, I can't say that, with transfers that didn't happen. So he was more or less peed off, and he made this move out of frustration, basically. As you know, we signed Declan Rice and we haven't looked back. Ruben never signed a 3-year deal with Al Hilal, so there could be a move back to England or Europe, better yet, at some point, people. Rio Ferdinand, who, you know, somebody needs to take him to Alcoholics Anonymous or something, with the greatest of respect, because he just doesn't stop chatting crap. I know these guys have to live for engagement and things like that. You know, Saka's not world class, played down Saka's ability, and then you're saying Mikel Arteta would leave Arsenal for Man United. Now, don't get it twisted. Man United under their new owners could be back. They're a massive club, etc., etc. But he'd have to start his project again, and it doesn't make sense. Mikel Arteta would leave Arsenal to join Man United 100%. Nobody is saying it's happening, but if Man United United in a wild dream said, do you know what, Eric Ten Hag, thank you, or Ten Hag has been poached by Bayern Munich. I mean, I'm sure that Bayern Munich have admiration for him, but with all the managers that are going to be on the market, is Eric Ten Hag in a position to get the Bayern Munich job based on what he's showing at Man United? Fair enough. I thought I was deluded, but Rio, you seem to be that. He goes there, and then United say top of the list is Arteta. Arteta is going in and saying to the lads, listen, guys, it's been emotional, but I've got to move. I've got to go. I mean, he'd probably... Mikel Arteta would probably got more likely to join Manchester City if Pep leaves them back to Man United, or maybe just go abroad. I don't think his project is finished at Arsenal, and the world weren't rating Mikel Arteta. Now they all want him at their clubs, but fair enough, Rio Ferdinand. Let me know your thoughts on Ruben Neves' revelations and actually what Rio Ferdinand is saying here. Do you agree? Do you disagree? The beautiful thing about football is, I guess, to some degree, Rio might be right, but we all don't see football the same. So let me know your thoughts. Arsenal seem to be getting linked with other players. Once again, people, Real Madrid pose a threat to Arsenal and Newcastle United, who are prepared to pay Kubo's 60 million euros release clause. I must admit, I'm not as keen on him as I once was. Once again, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Newcastle are all willing to spend the bag on the Real Sociedad 22-year-old La Liga winger, who's got 6 goals and 4 assists currently, people, for Sociedad this year. And the Japan international, I'm sure Tomiyasu could verify to Arteta if he needs a scouting report, is also being linked with other clubs as well. Newcastle United, Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, and apparently Manchester City have also been linked with Pedro Neto. 80 million is going to be expensive. If any club triggers that clause, Real Sociedad won't get in the way of him, and some English teams may view this as kind of a chance. I mean, if we're going to get anyone from Sociedad, surely it's got to be Zubimendi, but the 22-year-old must be doing something well if, his name is being linked with a lot of big clubs. Allegedly, we saw this yesterday, but apparently Arsenal have identified their replacement for Aaron Ramsdale. Mikel Arteta wants to sign Ajax goalkeeper for the £13 million rated Dian Ramalj, who again apparently is seen as, we had admiration for him for his days at Frankfurt. Apparently he's good with his distribution and all of that stuff, so that fits the remit. I can't give an informed opinion on him, but yeah, as it says here, Arsenal also liked him when he was at Frankfurt. Arteta therefore won't be too bothered by Ramsdale leaving, as he's been tracking his replacement for a while, which could mean he's known he'd have to replace him for a while. Of course, well, when Raya came in, if Raya underperformed, then Ramsdale stays as the number one. But you're buying Raya to be the number one. There was no reality where Raya was going to accept being number 2 or brought in to be a number 2. He's made clear his ambitions to play for Spain. Obviously, he was held in high regard at Brentford and playing week in, week out. It was never going to be that fallacy of 2 rotating keepers and equal minutes for both, really. Again, I can't verify this guy, but he's good on the ball, which is something Mikel Arteta certainly wants. He's also excellent at long balls to the attackers and could be the perfect backup at Arsenal. Ramal is also a great shot stopper. He's brave in coming out for crosses. The only question mark, if anything, is his handling. As for his value, I'm told he wouldn't cost a lot, approximately a fee of 15 million euros, in brackets 13 million quid, has been mentioned, people. Allegedly, he's played 17 Eredivisie games, people, after ascending to Ajax's number 1 spot following 6 games on the bench at the start of the season, and he saved just over 70% of the shots he's faced. So I'm sure there is some quality in the lad. Thoughts are with Christopher Olsson, people. Former Arsenal youth player has been sent to hospital, people, with acute disease related to the brain, which again, you don't want to hear that, people. So we all send him well wishes. The 22-year-old Swedish international allegedly, unfortunately, lost consciousness at his home last week and has been sent to, a university hospital in Denmark, where he's now on a ventilator. So we're all keeping him in our thoughts and prayers and hoping for the best, and thoughts are with his family at this sad and difficult time, people. Once again, Arsenal have been linked with the Besiktas player Semi Kilesoy, I believe, people. Apparently Arsenal and Manchester United, as well as Tottenham Hotspur, Atletico Madrid, Frankfurt, are all fighting to see what this individual could bring to them, the 18-year-old, who apparently has 9 goals and an assist in 10 league games for his current employers, people. He recently, last month, signed an extension at his current club until 2028, so nobody knows if that's a pending move or if there's anything likely there. Arsenal apparently are interested in Barcelona youngster Faye, who's a 19-year-old centre-back who joined I can't remember the countries he's from, but he's from an African nation, and I'm sure they rejected an offer from Lens of France in January, people. In fact, it says it there. Senegalese. I'm sure you played at a youth tournament as well, and Barcelona bought you, and apparently they rate him highly and think he could step up. But at 19 years of age, if he's adaptable, can play centre half as well as fullback, impressionable, Barcelona are broke, and he's someone we could take a chance on, then why not? Finally, I'm sure you're all seeing reports today about, Chelsea need to sell before June, because they're struggling financially. We were linked with Mudryk. Thank the Lord we signed Trossard. Really, I think Mudryk still is talented, but maybe this is an avenue to go over again, people. Would you not take Mudryk from Chelsea at Arsenal? Now, just because he's failed at Chelsea, don't mean he failed at Arsenal. Mikel Arteta did want him. Maybe our blushes has been spared. The one thing I would say, in a better system and stuff, which Arsenal is at the moment, he might benefit. The biggest issue for me is he looks like a very volatile confidence player. He looks like he's from the same school of Kiri or Lokonga, where, Kyrill's doing quite well. I do think we need more headstrong players, really and truly, not to diss anybody. But let me know your thoughts. Of course, they were calling my man the Ukrainian Neymar. Shakhtar Donetsk played an absolute blinder here, people. He joined for a staggering 88.5 million. The 22-year-old just has 4 goals in 26 appearances in all comps. And you'd imagine if it continues like this, obviously Pochettino might not be the manager next season and the new manager might have faith, but surely if we're still saying the same things about Chelsea's Mudryk, then they probably need to loan him out, people. And he's fallen behind in the pecking order. Allegedly, according to a report from Spain, which tells you everything, people, Chelsea are so disappointed in their near 100 million star that they're considering options ahead of next season. A loan move is looking the likeliest outcome at the moment, but permanent sale has not been ruled out. Maybe he's just thinking up the place to eventually get his move to Arsenal. Interestingly, while Juventus remain interested in offering the out-of-form winger a route out of his Stamford Bridge nightmare, Mikel Arteta's Arsenal are also credited with having strong interest. Arsenal came agonizingly close to signing Mudryk before he agreed to move to Chelsea. And if these latest reports are anything to go by, the Gunners, who have been described as the saga's main candidates, could try again for the attacker's signature. Mikel Arteta has a good record of improving players, so although Mudryk will probably regret his decision to snub a move to the Emirates, he may be handed a second chance. Boy, I mean, we seem to like shopping at Chelsea. I know many people would say just leave that alone. I don't know what you lot are saying and what's you lot's thoughts. Let me know, people. I don't know if you lot saw my video yesterday. Check it out. But apparently Zinchenko and Partey are nearing full fitness and they're trying their best to be available for next Monday's game against Sheffield United, people. As you can see here, a player we've been linked with in Jerrel Hato. Allegedly, Ajax are working on tying down teen star Jerrel Hato to a new contract. By the time he turns 18, you'd imagine he gets that because he can sign a 5-year deal, as they brace themselves for summer interest from Arsenal and other top European clubs. The defender will have just 1 year left on his contract at the end of the season, and Ajax want to extend his deal. The Dutch club are aware of Arsenal's interest in Hato, as well as a number of European sides, and want to strengthen their hand ahead of new bids. Ajax also want to reward Hato for breaking into the first team, and they hope he can be persuaded to stay beyond the summer. I mean, I can understand if his head's hot and his head's turned, but how many 17-year-olds are playing week in, week out for a big club and captaining their team? I think you could stay at Ajax for a couple of years and then just get more grounded, and then these moves will happen. I think in today's day and age, there's too much of a rush at 16, 17 to go and sign for a big club. And don't get twisted, I want Arsenal to get this done because I like him a lot. Think he could be a star of the future. While no two signings are alike, there's got to be, some evidence with the way Timber, obviously he's injured right now, the way Ajax see football historically, the way Arsenal historically are known about football, what Arteta is trying to do, how, when you think of Dutch football, intelligent, versatile, technically sweet, all of these things interlapped with Arsenal. There's got to be a coincidence as to why Timbers hit the ground running. Maybe the Ajax players are something we could do. I don't know about United because Antony looks rubbish. Lissandro Martinez, quality player, he should have come over these sides. But anyways, people, apparently, he's regarded as one of the hottest prospects in Europe, and he's already captained Ajax. He's capable of playing in the heart of defence or at left back, with his ability on the ball catching the eye of watching scouts. Arsenal expected to be in the market for a defender this summer, and manager Mikel Arteta likes players who are versatile. The Spaniard also prefers to have 2 players in every position, but Arsenal currently have 8 recognised defenders in the squad, but Cedric Suarez's contract expires in the summer. The Gunners did business with Ajax last summer after striking a deal for Timber that was worth 38.5 5 million quid, people. Hato did hint he could one day follow in the footsteps of Timber. In October, in an interview, he said, unfortunately, he was seriously injured in his first Premier League game for Arsenal, but he's still young and has a bright future ahead of him. In any case, the move to Arsenal was a wonderful one for him. It was also my dream to one day make such a transfer, but I realized that I still have a very long way to go. So he's a young man with an experienced head on his shoulders. Let me know your thoughts on Mikhail Mudryk, Ruben Neves, Hato, Rio Ferdinand's comments about Mikel Arteta, and anything else we've discussed here, people. Turn on your notification bells, because if I'm not doing news shows and tactical analysis, you're getting fan shows and collaborative pieces, and there's many more to come. I'm working in the background to bring you lots of good content, people. So turn on your notification bells. Make sure you're following on the socials. Most importantly, stay safe, stay blessed. Journey to 70k subs alive and kicking. Peace.
Always